I always had an idea that an interest in the brain and the spinal cord. I mean, such an incredibly vast area that we have so little understanding of. So from a young age, there was always an area of curiosity for me. My undergraduate background is engineering. I kind of like the aspect of designing things, of building things. I like seeing results at the end of a class or of a session. So I knew I wanted to go into a field. When I got into medical school, that was going to be more surgically oriented, where you're actually working on your hands and actually building things. And neurosurgery just seemed kind of the optimal kind of dovetail of those two areas. I mean, it's kind of cutting edge in terms of research. Technology has changed so much. I mean, from the time that I started my training to now, robotics, things like that have totally changed how we're approaching things. And by the time 20 years from now, by the time I retire, things will have changed again. So it's cool to be in that kind of field. It's cool to be in a field where people are smart. You know, even the people that you meet at meetings, everything like that, are people that you can talk to, and they really are at the top of the field. I think that's true in all of medicine, but in neurosurgery especially, you see people that are really working on the cutting edge of research. And then the dramatic outcomes is always an area that always is rewarding. You know, I mean, you come and see someone who can't walk or somebody who's really sick, and you're able to make them better. And I think it's really nice to be in a field where you have that opportunity to help people like that. So those are the areas that got me interested. In terms of the moment, the biggest thing for me and for most people is deciding if you want to have the lifestyle. And I remember my first night on call as a medical student in the neurosurgery service. It was at the shock trauma center in Baltimore. And there was a brain bleed that came in. I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. And I remember doing that. And I remember always being worried about, oh, yeah, how's it going to be that you got to stay up the whole night and then be kind of go through the next day working. And I remember there's such an adrenaline rush when you got to do see your first brain. You open up the skull and you see the brain in front of you that I didn't even notice the next day that I was tired. So when I kind of felt that, then I kind of knew that this was the field that I wanted to go into.